Okay.
Are we back on?
We're back on. I don't know if it just restarted us. I don't know if it lost how we started this episode.
I don't know either. It's gone forever.
So, who knows? Well,
I could find out real fast.
I guess. How about we do a quick recap of the bosses and trolls while we try to figure out what the hell's going on with this?
I'm playing what little there was of the episode that we did before, and it doesn't seem to have any sound.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So I'm thinking that it didn't get anything.
Hooray!
Do we have to start over from the beginning?
I think we should just start over from the beginning.
Okay, let's just start over. Play the theme song. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yup.
This time, record Audacity.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
I'm Liz. This is Surly Amy from skepchick.org.
I'm Keith from Sydney, Australia.
Hello, I'm Daryl Ray, author of Sex and God and The God Virus.
This is Rebecca Watson of skepchick.org.
I'm Vivian Wheeler from Planned Parenthood.
I am Devin Napoli from Planned Parenthood.
I am Richard Carrier.
I am Monette Richards from Secular Woman.
I am Stephen Olson from Carl Sagan Dance Party.
I'm JT Eberhard, and I'm a he-thinker who loves the she-thinkers.
I'm Debbie Goddard. I'm from the Center for Inquiry and African Americans for Humanism, and I'm a human thinker.
I'm a Faisal, and I'm a he-thinker, she-thinker, they-thinker, it-thinker.
Hello, everybody. This is Dave Fitzgerald, and oh yes, I am a she-thinker.
Hey, we're back again?
Sort of?
Sort of?
I think we made it all the way through the troll.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. So, I guess we can just start over with the boss.
Alright, yeah, let's start over with the boss.
Do you want me to reread the statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm recording us, so if we do get dropped, we won't have to do all this shit again.
I don't remember anything I said before.
we just read the statement.
Okay, so for our boss this week, we have Ophelia Benson, because she got together with Richard Dawkins and released a joint statement explaining that harassment, including death threats and rape threats and attacks on people's appearance, age, race, sex, and size, were demeaning and not okay. And Richard was like, I agree. I don't feel like rereading the whole thing.
Good sum up.
So, good on you, Ophelia. And really, my thoughts on this, and I guess I can go into the Richard Dawkins thing again. He's said / done some shit and promoted some people in the past that were engaging in these things, which made people think that he was endorsing them. And I know that over the past couple of weeks, he was up in arms on Twitter because he was like, just because I agree on one thing doesn't mean I agree on everything else. And this is him stepping back and being like, oh, I do not endorse any of this.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. I wish he would go one step further, but, you know, a few steps further in it. But overall, I think this is overall a good thing for the atheist community.
Yep.
And I cannot believe it took this long.
How long's this shit been going on?
I don't know.
When was Elevator Gate?
The beginning of time. I think, like, the Big Bang happened and then Elevator Gate.
Right?
I don't remember the world before that. I mean, shit was going on before that.
Of course.
Wasn't quite as public. It was more in the shadows and...
Like sexism always is.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Plausible deniability. How has that not been a secret word at some point?
We could make it one eventually. Alright, so that's our boss.
Yay,
Anything
boss.
more you wanted to add to that? I'm a little bossed out because we already did this.
I know, right?
Damn it, internet.
Fuck it, let's talk about Bob's Burgers.
Okay, because
Bob's Burgers is great.
We're about to say the same thing.
Yep. That never happens.
Don't steal my lines. Also, no coughing on the air.
I'm trying not to. I can't help it, I'm sick this week.
Have you just tried not being sick? I mean...
Well, you know, I already got the fucked up vagina, and my immune system is probably compromised because it's still recovering.
Yeah. Excuses.
Yep. That's me.
Alright, so... Bob's Burgers.
Yay!
It's a really cool show. It's a cartoon show about a dysfunctional but still loving family.
My mom likes to call those families functionally dysfunctional.
real families.
Yes.
And really, we always talk. Anytime we talk about Bob's Burgers, Dory and I always end up comparing it to The Simpsons, Family Guy, and American Dad.
Because they're all cartoon families.
Well, they're all cartoon families.
Or, like, I guess, adult cartoon families.
Yeah. But it's like, people seem to see Family Guy and American Dad as the next generation for The Simpsons, and I don't really agree with that.
Nope.
Because in The Simpsons, at least in the first 10 seasons...
ones that we actually watched.
I know, I stopped watching it when I was, like, 18 or something. But at least in those seasons... the family actually loved each other. Yeah, Homer could be a jerk or whatever, but...
so could Bart.
Yeah, so could Bart. But, like, they still showed that they love each other.
Yep.
And they weren't just constantly shitting on each other throughout the whole show. And if you watch Family Guy or American Dad, that's where half the humor comes from. It's just... in Family Guy, it's them shitting on Meg all the time.
Which is so, like...
it's really messed up.
I was talking to somebody about the whole Meg thing, and I was like, you know... it would be one thing if you, as the audience, were meant to sympathize with Meg, but you're not. You're supposed to join in on bashing on Meg. Like, that's where the humor is supposed to come from, is you shitting on Meg along with everybody else. I mean, like, that's just a shitty place to put people in.
They even do disclaimers when it's a Meg episode.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I know, it's a Meg episode, feel free to skip it. Stuff like that. And it's like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
You could at least pretend like we're supposed to sympathize with her. And then the one episode where she actually stands up for herself, they basically show that the family will be destroyed if they're not allowed to abuse Meg.
Yeah.
It's really, really fucked up. And then American Dad...
hooray, justifying abuse.
I know. American Dad isn't as bad at that, but they're still not really a super loving family.
No.
Although Stan is supposed to be the embodiment of straight white guy obliviousness and entitlement, so...
yeah.
I guess it's a good caricature of that.
I guess so.
But in Bob's Burgers, just about, like, they always have... the siblings are really close with each other. They're like each other's best friends.
Yep.
And I love it. And, like...
they always have each other's backs.
Yeah, they do. Oh, you know what? People... I want to bring up the twins.
Andy and Ollie.
Andy and Ollie. I mean, they're supposed to be kind of weird, but nobody in the show really sees them as weird. Like, the audience is supposed to think they're weird.
Back to you, Andy.
Back to you, Ollie.
Back to you, Andy.
Back to you, Ollie. Oh, here comes Andy and Ollie. Why is it taking them so long? They're trying to carry each other at the same time. And it's adorable, because they're like 8 or something.
Yeah.
And everybody else in the show is just like, that's how Andy and Ollie are. They don't get made fun of or anything. They have friends. And it's the same thing with, like, Tina. I mean, she's had a couple episodes where she's had a hard time with bullies, but overall, Tina is, as weird as they make her character, she's still accepted mostly by her family and friends and everything. And
yep.
Same with Jean and Louise. Louise would be the bully, actually.
Right. But she, like... I mean, there's some times where she kind of bullies her siblings, but not...
Yeah.
I don't know, it never really reaches that point, you know?
Well, because she...
it's usually because they end up joining in with it.
Yeah. It's like...
like when she's talking to Gene about if he wants to be a real artist, that he's going to have to cut off his ear. And he's like, all right, but cut off this one, or, you know...
The one episode, and I really liked it, it was the one where they were looking for the treasure below the candy factory.
Oh, the Goonies parody?
Yeah, the Goonies one. And this is the one where I think she went too far, but she actually suffered consequences and had to learn.
Yep.
She went too far and was super mean to her siblings and everything. And then in the end, she's had to learn. And I like the best line in that is Bob. He's yelling down at her, and he's like, "Do you really want your last words to be sarcastic?" And she's like, "Yes."
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Like
and then there's like Bob and Linda's relationship,
which Linda supports Bob wholeheartedly.
She does,
even though Bob's business is like failing constantly.
Yeah, I mean the very first episode is about their own relationship insecurities.
Yep,
because he forgets their wedding anniversary, and then an old flame of hers comes back.
9 is divisible by 3.
But That doesn't make any sense. A lot of numbers are divisible by 3. Don't argue with me. But I love the mom so much. She's great.
Yeah, Linda's fantastic.
I know.
She's a really good mom.
And what I really love is that Bob is supposed to play like the straight man in the comedy. He's supposed to be the non-weird one. And he'll be like, oh God, stop doing this. Stop being terrible. And then eventually, like, within a couple minutes, he's laughing along with
He's
them.
just going with it.
So it's like, he understands that his kids and his wife are kind of weird, but he loves them.
Yep.
And it's quite obvious that he does. He's like, oh, no, don't do that. Okay, yeah, that is hilarious.
People who are in mourning, people carrying urns, don't offer them free samples.
Gene, there's a line between funny and annoying.
No, there's not. That's a myth. I am good at doing Gene's voice.
And see, I can't do voices at all. Like, at all. So.
I guess we kind of jumped the gun. We should, for those who haven't watched Bob's Burgers, I guess we should tell you vaguely what it's about. And introduce...
Shouldn't they have been prepared for this episode?
I guess so.
Come on.
Let's introduce the characters and the basic premise.
Alright, fine.
So,
I want our listeners to be completely lost every time we do the show.
Right?
We'll get more fans that way, right?
Totally. Well, okay, so obviously there's Bob. He's the dad. Yeah, I want some more wine, totally. You can just ask on the air.
I don't know. I was trying to be discreet about us getting drunk. I don't know why.
I was going to say, that's half of the show, is us getting progressively drunker during the show.
You keep going. I'll just yell my lines from the kitchen.
Sounds good. Okay.
Kitchen adjacent here. At Shay Nerdy. Shit.
Oh yeah, we forgot to tell them that we're coming live from the Dirty Nerdy Cave instead of the Shethinker Cave.
It's way bigger than the Shethinker Cave.
It's true.
Oh, where'd the wine go?
Okay, so it's a family of 5 who own a burger restaurant in, I'm just gonna guess, New Jersey.
Yep.
I don't know. They're on a boardwalk, and Linda's got a Brooklyn accent. I'm guessing it's Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's lots of corruption too. So.
I forget which glass is which. So.
Whatevs.
One of them might have arsenic in it. That's
okay.
All I'm saying.
So there's Bob, who's the dad and the husband and the straight man. There's
in more than one way.
Haha. Ha. He might be the only straight one in the family. There's Linda, who's the mom. I don't know, what are weird things about Linda? I'm trying to think of weird things to talk about with each of them.
She sings all the time.
Oh yeah, she does sing all the time.
I love that they introduced that trait about her character and then just kept running with it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think even within the first season, the end of each show ends with usually Linda singing some song.
It's like Linda or Gene, which makes sense because Gene's like all musical too.
Yeah.
Sort of. He gets better at it as the show goes on. My favorite one, C couldn't be here tonight, so she's reminding us to talk about the porcelain baby.
Yes.
She has a porcelain baby song, and it's amazing. No, my favorite song that she does is when she's trying to force Louise to like her, and she takes her to the mommy-daughter thing. And they have to role play, so Louise starts singing because she's supposed to be playing her mom. And then Linda starts singing, and Louise is like, no, you're not supposed to be singing. I'm singing because you sing. I don't sing, so you shouldn't be singing.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
It's one of my favorite ones, too. And it goes back into our, like, loving family thing. It's another episode where Louise kind of takes her abrasiveness too far with her family and makes Linda feel
just
really
with her
bad.
mom.
Just with her mom. And it makes Linda feel really bad. And she didn't even realize. She's like, what? You think I don't like you? I like you. You're going to mom it all up. Well, what about Dad? Isn't he going to dad it all up?
Yeah, but that's a good thing. Okay.
Alright, so that's Linda.
Yeah. Might as well talk about Louise, because...
Louise. She's the youngest of their 3 children. I think she's like supposed to be 7 or 8.
Something
maybe
like
9?
that.
I don't know.
I think Jean's supposed to be 10.
Okay, so I think she's supposed to be like 8
and
years
I
old.
think Tina is supposed to be 14 or 13.
She turns 13 at one point.
Yeah.
She has a birthday and turns 13.
So I'm going to say 13, 10, and 7 probably.
And that episode goes into the Loving family too.
Yeah, it does.
Shit, man.
Because Bob takes a second job to pay for Tina's dream 13 birthday.
And he shaves off his mustache.
Yep.
Like, that. Every episode is an example of how much they love each other.
It's true.
The one where Louise loses her hat and they try to get it back for her.
Yep.
It's amazing. I love the biker gang.
That's my favorite Louise episode ever.
It's great.
Okay. Louise is, I don't know, psychotic most of the time. Louise is my spirit animal.
She is a strong female character.
Yes.
And I love her.
She's a strong, independent woman.
She's played by Kristen Shaw, who is
from Portlandia.
Well, she's from Portlandia. No, she's not from Portlandia, is she?
I've seen her in it before.
I think she's been in a couple of the episodes, but I was thinking of
Flight of the Conchords.
Flight of the Conchords, and she's now a correspondent on The Daily Show, I think.
Yep.
She also did stand-up for a while, but I've never seen her stand-up. But she's amazing. I love Kristen Shaw, and she plays Louise, and it's great.
Louise, I don't know. I go back and forth between who my favorite characters are. Really, the kids are my favorite characters.
Yeah,
like
all the kids.
Louise is usually my favorite. Tina's my favorite when I am like feeling down and need something to pick me up, because Tina never lets herself get down.
She doesn't. I love Tina. I'm a strong, sensual woman.
I could just make mantras out of what Tina says.
I know. I really loved the episode when they go to the museum. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was from season 4 or not.
Yeah.
And she finds out she's a dork, but then at the end she's like, it's okay, because we're all a dork for something.
Yep.
She's like, I'm a dork for horses. And everybody discusses what they're all a dork for. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Louise is she's kind of the badass of the kids. Like, she gets shit done.
Yep. In shady ways.
Yes. How'd you get the principal to agree to this? I told him I had incriminating photos because I drew some incriminating photos
of him.
And it's great because she's like a badass and she does those shady things, but there's always still this childlike thing to it. Like when she says she drew the pictures, like, what?
It's like a kid trying to be like a hardcore mob boss or something.
It is. It's wonderful.
It's pretty great.
And then, I don't know. Louise is wonderful.
And then
Jean.
Yeah, I love Jean.
Jean
is totally a trans girl.
Yeah, we can talk about that now.
Yeah, that's part of that character. So,
do you want to play? we can do some quotes here, proving that Jean is a trans girl. Do you want to be? You can be Jean, and I'll be Linda and Bob.
Sure.
Is your penis all right? It's fine.
Mine's a nightmare, if anyone's wondering.
That's in the Goonies episode.
Yeah,
I remember that. Because Bob overdoses on
Viagra. That Linda slips into his drink. This is not okay.
And he makes it clear that it's not okay.
Yeah, he does.
No, this isn't okay. All right, the next one, you can play G, and I'll play the others.
We're working girls now. Deal with it.
You're a girl?
Yes, I am.
No, he's not.
Tell that to my vagina.
And it's like, those are the two that I really think show that maybe
pretty much seal the deal.
Yeah, she's a trans girl and not just some other sort of gender variant, because Jean talks all the time about like
being a girl,
and maybe it's because he's surrounded by girls. That might be part of it. I don't know.
Maybe.
But like, we just watched the one where he joins baseball, and he likes his uniform because it looks good on him. He calls them his capris.
Yeah, his capris and his top.
And I don't want to like use stereotypes or anything to prove it. That's why these two quotes are like the best ones, because everything else is just him like using a different, slightly more feminine gender expression, which only kind of, because he also is definitely seems like just a regular little boy sometimes. The first episode, he constantly makes fart jokes.
Yep.
Which is typically seen as a thing little boys do. But yeah, these two really seal the deal for me.
Jean's either a trans girl or Jean's just gonna grow up to be like gender fuck.
Yeah.
Just like grow a beard and take hormones and just like
Whatever.
fuck all of your gender norms.
Oh my god.
I can't tell which one.
My phone
Holy
is
shit,
going
you're
off.
getting all kinds of text messages every day.
Oh, no, it's not text messages. My phone's just behind on receiving messages, like from my Facebook app.
Ah.
I just received all those messages between you and C.
That's exciting.
But I already got them on the laptop, so.
I'm trying to think of more evidence for... There's so many.
I know.
Almost every episode, there's at least one nod to Jean being not male. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Right? Gender variant in some way.
Yeah. So, and I also want to talk about, like, his music. It's great.
Oh yeah, that's his other big thing.
He has this keyboard that can record different sounds, and then he makes music from it. At one point, he dates a girl that he hates because her dad has a whole music studio.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I still come over later after he breaks up with her and puts her in the hospital? And her dad's like, no, you can't come over.
I love that episode because it's pretty much how all my relationships started as a kid. Was being told I was in a relationship with somebody.
And it's so true of relationships between the ages of like 10 and 13.
Yeah.
That's really how it happens. Someone's like, I know someone who likes you.
You're like,
someone likes me? Yeah. Can you guess who it is? It's not me or this person or this person. And hence, it's this person.
You're like, oh, that's nice. Oh, you guys are in a relationship now. Wait, what? Huh?
What just happened? That happened to me once when I was in like 6th grade. Someone came up and was like, hey, so-and-so likes you and wants to go out with you. Yes or no? And I was like, yes, I guess. And I'd never talked to him ever before. But I was just like, sure, why not? I don't know who this guy is. And then they went back and came back. Were like, okay, y'all two are going out now. And then I think we exchanged like 3 words in the week that we were going out. And then at the end of the week, the third person who got us to go out together also came up to me and was like, oh, by the way, so-and-so's breaking up with you. And I was like, so mad, I went up and slapped him. Not even kidding. I saw it across recess, and I just walked over and was like, fuck you, slap.
I'm gonna slap him.
One of the only times I've ever, like... That is, like, one of the only times I've ever actually been violent towards another person. That and in the 8th grade.
Yeah. My weirdest being forced into a relationship story is actually my senior year of high school.
What?
So yeah, that's my being forced into a relationship story.
Kind of adorable.
Right.
And that's how I feel about these kids, because it's like, you have like the kids in The Simpsons and Family Guy and American Dad, and like, they don't really act like kids. They act like adults in tiny kids' bodies that still go to school. I mean,
I think The Simpsons kind of sort of trade off.
They trade off between it, but in this show, it's like the kids are just kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, they get into wacky adventures that, of course, wouldn't happen in real life. I hope not.
But they still react like kids do.
Yeah, they still react to it the way children would, and I love it. The one where they end up selling pot on accident. Their dad Bob actually fires them. Because he realizes his childhood of working in his dad's restaurant was shitty, and he didn't want to do the same thing to his kids, so he fired them, and they were really upset about it.
Because they really liked working, so they just go find another job at a blueberry farm.
Yeah,
so they
selling blueberries.
Selling blueberries, perfectly legal blueberries.
A neighbor.
Jeez.
All right, so we can talk about Tina now. Do we talk about
Tina?
Tina, she's...
If nothing else, Tina gave us the Tina moan.
She did. It's the worst. It's the worst sound. And this is what I really like about Tina. It's funny because when the show was originally pitched, her character was supposed to be a boy, like a budding teenage boy.
Yeah.
And they switched it over to a girl and basically just didn't rewrite anything or get a new voice actor.
Yeah.
And so what you ended up with was an actually super well-developed storyline and character around budding female sexuality that you don't normally get in a show.
Yeah.
It's sad that they had to write her as a man, as a boy first.
Right.
But I'm sure that was.
I guess I'm glad that happened, but
well, to be honest, I doubt they wrote like the entire show in one sitting or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's probably just the first couple episodes that had to actually be rewritten in any way to make her a girl. But they've done a really great job of providing a very positive look at female sexuality. And not making it creepy. Like,
I love her erotic friend fiction.
It's the best.
I was trying to explain this to somebody who hasn't watched the show before, and I just wasn't capable of conveying how it's not creepy that she writes erotic friend fiction.
It's just grabbing butts, and it's funny. It's not creepy to me. I think a lot of it has to do with because it's age appropriate for her to feel this way and to suddenly have crushes on all of her friends and have fantasies about grabbing their butts. It's and she's just really open about her feelings on everything.
Yeah.
About the changes in her body that are happening, about how she feels about other.
My crotch is itchy.
Yeah. And my rash smells like bacon now. I think
everything is gonna be okay. I love Tina.
One of my favorites is it's in the second episode, and she describes her zombie dreams that she has because Bob let her watch Night of the Living Dead when she was little, and she had zombie dreams where she like thrashes and gets up and screams and stuff.
She has night terrors.
She has night terrors. Only now she even says now it's merged with my budding female sexuality,
and so now they're even weirder
because she starts screaming. Do you want to make out? Do you want to make out? And then I make out with them.
And then I wake up.
So she has night terrors about zombies where she ends up making out with them. And she just freely discusses this at breakfast in the morning. And they're like, okay. And then I guess we can kind of segue into how sex positive this show is from Tina.
Yeah. It's not just Tina. It's lots of characters. Sex stories actually come up fairly common in the show.
One of my favorite lines is, I don't remember what they're hiding from Bob, but they're hiding something from him. And they're like, what is that? They're like, naked pictures? And he goes, oh, okay. Wait, that's not porn. It's great.
I love when Linda's trying to run the bed and breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like that kinky couple that rents a room from them. And she's trying to get them to go back to their room and stay for another day. And she's like, just take out your whip and whip him. She like keeps trying to encourage them to keep being kinky in their room.
They're downstairs grinding the meat. That's not a euphemism. They're really grinding
the meat.
But yeah. And then like, the one where Bob takes a second job as a cab driver?
Yeah.
And he meets all the sex workers and just becomes friends with them and jokes around with them. And they're not just sex workers.
They're transvestite sex workers.
Yeah. It's great. And then he invites them to Tina's party and it's a big hit.
Yeah, I like how Tina's upset at first. She's like, you invited transvestite hookers to my birthday party? And then they end up making the party really fun. So she just goes with it. Because come on. How many other 13-year-olds have gender variant sex workers at their birthday party? I love that. Oh, and they even mentioned that Bob's the only cab driver that doesn't give them shit. He just picks them up every night and drives them where they need to go.
Yeah, because they said that they can't get, they haven't been able to, get cab drivers to stop a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, you actually picked us up. He's like, why wouldn't I pick you up?
I'm trying to think of more. We just watched the one that was making fun of the, what is that pyramid scheme thing with the sex toys? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The pleasure parties.
Pleasure parties?
Yeah. They're making fun of the pleasure parties, and all 3 kids are sitting in the living room when it starts. And the host is like, Linda, are you sure you want your kids to be here? And she's like, oh, it's fine. And then Jean is fascinated by the vibrator and wants one.
Alright, and then there's a lot of body positivity in the show.
Yep.
And this especially ties back into Tina.
Yeah.
Because, of course, she's starting to grow up. And so she'll, like, just announce changes to her body. Like, she gets a hair on her chin or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, ooh, let's shave it off. And she goes, no, I like it.
and even Linda's like, it's beautiful, leave it alone.
It's beautiful, you're beautiful. In the episode where she tries to shave her legs.
I love that one. She feels all shamed and wants to take the hair off of her legs because she hears 2 of her classmates, like, shitting on somebody for having hairy legs.
Yeah.
And so then she freaks out and she wants to shave her legs, but she can't shave them.
Oh, God, it's horrible.
So
she somehow mangles her leg. They
You
won't even
must-
show it.
You must have been very determined, isn't that what the lady at the waxing place
Yes.
says? So, going back to being an awesome family,
Bob,
when Linda can't go because that's the one with the mother-daughter thing, right?
She's forcing Louise to go to the mother-daughter thing. So Bob has to deal with teaching Tina how to shave her legs, but he doesn't know how. So he's like, let's just go wax our legs. So he takes Jean and
Tina.
I kept wanting to say Louise. Jean and Tina to the waxing place, and then Tina gets scared, and so Bob and Jean get their legs waxed with her.
Yeah. Well, no, first it's just Bob, and then Jean's jealous, so they take Jean and let him go do it too. Because she tells Bob that he has to do it first to show her it's okay. Like when he got a shot to show her that vaccines were okay.
And it's another example of just, like, how far they're willing to go to help each other.
Yep.
And at the end of the episode, Tina ends up being disappointed in herself for, like, going with the crowd. And I love Bob trying to give her a little pick-me-up speech. He's like, I mean, everybody goes with the crowd sometimes. I mean, why do you think I bought these shoes? And she apparently thinks the shoes are really ugly and doesn't realize that he bought them because he thought they were cool. It's great.
Yeah.
He's like, what? That's really what you think of these shoes? Oh my god. Was that your phone?
That's your phone.
That wasn't my phone. My phone doesn't make that noise.
I don't know what to tell you.
It was a weird noise. I think it was your phone.
I don't know. Doo-doo-doo.
Doo-doo-doo. Okay, I'm a little drinky now.
You want to go to commercial, and then when we come back, we can keep talking about Bob's
Yeah,
Burgers?
sure, we'll do that.
Okay.
Are we on?
Religious organizations exist to foster the interests of persons subscribing to the same religious faith. Not so for-profit corporations. Workers who sustain these operations are not drawn from one religious community. It bears note that the cost of an IUD is nearly equivalent to a month's full-time pay for workers making minimum wage. Oh, the court, I fear, has ventured into a minefield full of slut-shaming geezers and religious extremism. Oh, one thing's clear, this fight isn't over. We gotta stand together for what we know is right. decision to use contraceptives is not propelled by the government. It's the woman's autonomous choice informed by her doctor. Approving some religious claims while deeming others unworthy could be perceived as favoring one religion over another. Would the exemption extend to blood transfusions, antidepressants, and anesthesia, pills coated with gelatin, and vaccinations? Whoa, now the court, I fear, has ventured into a minefield full of slut-shaming geezers and religious extremism. Oh, but one thing's clear, the fight isn't over. We gotta stand together for what we know is right.
What's up? This is Dory.
And the Dirty Nerdy.
As you probably know, Be Secular is a proud sponsor of Secular Shethinkers.
But did you know the owners, Shannon and Mark, are not just sponsors, but also fans?
That's right, and we're fans of theirs too, because Be Secular doesn't just sponsor Shethinkers.
They sponsor lots of podcasts, artists, and organizations that support equality and the separation of church and state.
And we're all about equality and the separation of church and state.
They donate up to 50% of the profits to us as long as you go to besecular.com/shethinkers.
So be you. And be secular. Again, that's besecular.com/shethinkers.
Hey folks, this is your co-host Dirty Nerdy, here to talk to you about Audible.com. Did you know Audible has nearly 200,000 titles for you to choose from? They've got everything. Fiction, bestsellers, periodicals, you name it. And because you're our listener, you get a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook just by going to audibletrial.com/shethinkers. And we get $15 for every listener who signs up. Yay!
Woo!
This week we personally recommend The Purity Myth, How America's Obsession with Virginity is Hurting Young Women. Jessica Valenti argues that the country's intense focus on chastity is damaging to young women. Through in-depth cultural and social analysis, Valenti reveals that powerful messaging on both extremes, ranging from abstinence curriculum to Girls Gone Wild infomercials, place a young woman's worth entirely on her sexuality. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/shethinkers. Again, that's audibletrial.com/shethinkers for any free audiobook of your choice.
Planned Parenthood believes in the fundamental right of each individual throughout the world to manage his or her fertility, regardless of the individual's income, marital status, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, age, national origin, or residence. They believe that respect and value for diversity in all aspects of their organization are essential to well-being. They believe that reproductive self-determination must be voluntary and preserve the individual's right to privacy. They further believe that such self-determination will contribute to an enhancement of the quality of life and strong family relationships. To donate your time or money, or to utilize their services, go to PlannedParenthood.org. Remember, for every dollar you donate to Planned Parenthood, Jesus blesses an aborted fetus. Hey, we're back. That's exciting, right?
Yay!
Apparently we're having some weird, wacky sound issues or something.
But whatevs, because we're recording it on Audacity too. So if it's really fucked up, then we're just gonna merge the two live broadcasts that we've done.
I've done it before, so yeah. We'll work it out.
We'll lose our stats for the live showing, I think.
Actually, I figured out how to make sure that we don't.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
I feel I feel like I've leveled up in audio engineering.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah. It's almost like I'm vaguely learning what the hell I'm doing as we've done the show for almost a year.
I'm not. If Dory stops doing the show, I'm screwed. That's why we decided to not do the show while she was in Thailand.
I know, I was like, it'll be fine. You and Caitlin and C, you guys could do the show, and I'll just like pipe in with stuff. And you're like, no.
I was like, I don't know how to do any of this. How do you use Audacity? How do you do this? Like, it was funny because when we first started, I was the one who was learning how to use Audacity, and then you kind of just like, I don't know, it was like ingrained in your brain already how to do it, and you just figured it out super fast.
Yeah.
Faster than I could, so you took over that. And I took over not being prepared. So.
Yeah. And hey, if we ever do videos, you're in charge of video editing. We already made that agreement. That's your half of the work.
No, your moaning is all wrong, okay? You
moan that. So good at
it. This is fun. I want to do it too. That will never stop being funny. Oh, so apparently we are live now.
It's good to know.
Because my friend James, I'm mentioning your name on the air. You're famous now.
Woo! Internet famous.
He's internet famous now. He said he just heard you mention that you know how to retain the stats. So there's a delay, but
there's always a delay though. So
no, I want it immediate, right now. I'm gonna hit the table right now. Or the phone thing right now.
See, stop hitting the table.
She's not even here. You can't blame this on her. But we're gonna anyways. Like fucking Liz.
Fucking Liz.
Now it's fucking C.
Yep. Fucking Liz is when Liz magically pulls off shit that just doesn't even make sense.
I know. Here's this random person with a toolbox. What? Where did you find it?
Ready to fix your car.
Okay. I don't know what just happened. Good times.
Yep.
Another inside joke.
Yep.
All right.
That's what the show is.
What are we talking about?
Bob's Burgers. Remember?
I know that, but like what about Bob's Burgers? Favorite characters? Favorite episodes?
Favorite episodes?
Favorite characters? What's your favorite character?
So, I just want a show that stars Lisa Simpson, Daria Morgendorffer, and Tina Belcher. Can I have that?
What about Louise?
Louise can be a guest star.
Louise is my favorite. Because she reminds me of my niece.
Which one? Skeptical Baby?
No, the one that lives,
June?
the one I live with now. You can't say your name on the air.
I was just referring the last month.
But never mind. I'll stop calling attention to it. Yeah, she and it's funny because my sister is actually going to dress her up as Louise for Halloween this year. It's going to be amazing.
Yep.
But yeah, Louise, my niece is totally Louise, and she's only 2, and she's already displaying Louise like behaviors, and it's amazing. I love it. Yep. I encourage it as much as possible.
We could talk about some of the minor reoccurring characters. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the rivalry between Bob and Jimmy Pesto.
Jimmy Pesto, the guy who owns the
Italian
place across the street. Oh, it's
more like Bob Jimmy Popovich or whatever it is. He's like Greek and pretending to be Italian.
Yeah. I don't understand why Bob's restaurant doesn't do better. He uses they make such a big deal about the fact that he always uses fresh ingredients.
And then he makes really good burgers.
Yeah, they're really great burgers, but for some reason the restaurant is always failing.
He says it's because it sucks to be a burger place in a
seafood town?
A seafood town, yeah.
It wouldn't suck for me. I don't really like seafood that much, so
yeah.
I would go to the burger place.
Right. I did see somebody did a blog post where they tried to narrow down what area Bob's Burgers took place in, which was New Jersey, and then they try to figure out the square footage of the building that they rent, and then try to figure out what the rent would be for that place. And it was some ridiculous amount,
like really expensive.
Multiple thousands of dollars a
man.
month or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, no wonder Bob is falling under all the time.
I'd also like to point out that the show, like, the time period, it's in the present, but it has a really 80s, kind of 90s feel to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, they talk about the internet and they have texting and stuff, but otherwise it's, like, the clothes people wear, like, the styles people use and the way people talk and everything. It doesn't sound like it's really modern. It really reminds me of the 80s.
Yeah. Could see that. Maybe it's just because there's lots of 80s and 90s references through the show.
There are. I really like how... I mean, it's another thing I like about Bob's Burgers better than Family Guy. Like, when Family Guy makes pop culture references, it's super overt.
And forced in there and has nothing to do with the actual plot.
But when Bob's Burgers does it, it's like... Really, it's subtle, and...
It's...
makes sense with what's happening in the plot. It's not completely nowhere.
I feel like it's in there in the same way that pop culture references naturally come up in conversation with people.
And I feel like even if you don't get the pop culture reference, it's still funny. It still makes sense in the storyline, and it's still funny. Like the Thanksgiving episode when he goes, like, he starts hallucinating, and they reference Totoro.
Yeah.
That's one of the best ones. He's like, this is kind of weird, right? That's the best one, I think. They do a lot of other ones, and they're sometimes, like, I'll be watching it and I'll be like, I get a vibe that this is a reference to something, but I don't know what. But I still love it. I was watching the Smart Toilet episode today.
Yeah.
And the part where he goes up, the guy trying to get the toilet vat goes up onto the boat.
Yeah.
That whole scene, I feel like that's somebody. That's like a reference to something else. I think Sia's here.
Yay.
I hope that's not my sister. Nah, it's not. They don't drive that kind of car.
There you go. Well, there's lots of references in that show. Or in that episode, I mean. There's E.T. references all over the place.
There are. It's
like lots of 80s kids movie references in that episode.
What's the 80s movie where the kids go in the woods to find a dead body? It's a Stephen King.
Oh, the
Jackie!
Jesus Christ, scared the shit out of me.
Sia's here, everybody. You don't even need a mic. Just, like, start fucking talking.
Jackie!
That's I have arrived in French.
Polish, do you speak French?
What?
Nothing.
I barely speak French.
Alright, I'm trying to think of other references that are in there.
Holy shit, is this pizza?
It is pizza.
You guys are the best.
We have pizza and wine.
Pizza and wine.
Because we're fucking classy.
Alcohol.
and Coke
Zero.
Zero.
Can we be loud?
We can be. No one else is here.
No one else is here?
I wouldn't be doing this here if my sister were home.
That's not true. Troll Kitty is here.
Shh, shh, shh. He's the Easter egg. Put him down. I don't want anyone to hear him until the Easter egg.
Oh.
We are going to have an Easter egg tonight, by the way.
Yep. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Damn it.
You're supposed to say it before.
Did I just spoil our own show?
Yes.
If you haven't heard this episode before, spoiler alert.
If you haven't heard this episode, please contact me.
Are you a Time Lord? Yeah.
Are you a Time Lord? Oh my god, the kids I watch. The kid I watched the other day. I got a phone call from Time Warner. And I was trying to get off the phone from them. I know, boo. I was trying to get off the phone from them because it's not even my account.
Right.
And the kid I watched was like, who are you on the phone with, Miss Dirty Nerdy? Because that's what the kids I watch say.
Yep, Miss Dirty Nerdy.
Miss Dirty Nerdy.
It's because they're being respectful. That's why they say Miss Dirty Nerdy.
And I said, what? Where's the wine at? It's in the fridge.
It's in the fridge.
And he goes, who are you talking on the phone with? And I said, Time Warner. And he goes, what's a Time Lord? What's a time war or something?
Yeah.
Like,
you're fighting a time war?
Like, why a time war? And I was like, yes. I was talking about a time war on the phone.
You're secretly a Time Lord in your spare time.
In my spare time, I'm a Time Lord. Which, since I'm a Time Lord, I have a lot of spare time.
Yep.
Damn, you're loud. This is why you don't get a specialty. This is why you don't get a mic anymore.
Critical hit.
You don't even get the quiet mic.
I don't even have a mic. I'm across the room.
Because the Dirty Nerdy's house is like kitchen adjacent to where we're dancing.
That's right. I distracted you with my ass.
She does that a lot. I don't know what are we talking about.
Favorite episodes.
That's my other specialty.
See, what's your favorite Bob's Burgers episode or episodes?
I still haven't even finished like the first season, but
what? Get out.
Whichever one had the most Tina. Whichever I know.
Oh my God! How did we not?
I have never had my fanfic writing, nerdy, gross 13-year-old self represented on TV until I saw Tina.
Right.
I was like, I literally cried.
Erotic friend fiction.
Yes.
Done it.
Okay, how did we not talk about the episode where Bob tries to teach Tina how to drive? And her anxiety makes her crash into the only fucking car in the parking lot.
That episode stressed me out. I was like, I can't handle this.
Can you just steer one way or the other?
One way or the other, Tina. Tina, hit the brakes.
You know what? Neither of you get mics anymore. It's super loud now. This is what you do. This is what C does.
I just crank it up.
Oh my God.
That episode is one of my favorite episodes. And then, it's all about Tina having anxiety. That's the whole plot of that episode.
Again, hashtag representation.
But I love that Tina handles her anxiety as well as somebody with anxiety can handle their anxiety.
Which, when I was Tina's age, I was having anxiety, but, that word wasn't in my lexicon, so,
right.
I would just be like, I don't know, I feel, you're dramatic and 13 and everything's awful and pubic hair and just weird feelings and suppressing them.
This all goes back into the theme of the show that they're a family. They may be a little bit dysfunctional, but they're
the best family on television right now.
Loves and supports each other. And I think Tina deals with her anxiety so well because of who her family is.
And I never see the gender policing, the be lady, the be ladylike. I heard that my whole time growing up, and by the time I was 8 or 9, I was like, fuck ladylike.
The one time that they sort of gender police is when Gene is like, I have a vagina, and their dad is like, no, he doesn't. And that's just kind of a fact at that point in his life.
Well, he's not sure if Gene's at that age where he's just weird, or if he's saying important. And
Gene's vagina is just inside out. It happens to some of us. There's surgeries to correct it. It's fine.
That's correct. I mean,
but that's the closest they ever get to gender policing in the show. Technically correct.
What do you plug this in?
I don't know where you're trying to plug that in at.
What do you
need? Thor's juice.
She's just handing me this
My
weird
phone
plug.
needs more Thor's juice.
I don't know how to do this. Okay, there.
And I only say that now because Thor is a lady.
That's my wine.
Thor has always been a
your
lady.
wine is over there.
So your phone needs more lady juice?
Yes. Well, I can still say Thor juice, and it's still but a lady. I always had canon. Thor is a lady, a fucking sexy washboard abbed lady.
Okay, my favorite episode is no, don't play the Apple iPhone. How are you going to play an Apple iPhone? Computer, what are you doing? I don't know what you're saying. My favorite episode is when they get kidnapped by the cruise ship. It's the best one.
That episode freaked me out.
I know, right? It would.
It was like, what the hell am I watching?
Nobody else would admit that, even care that they were being kidnapped.
They were just like, oh, it's a vacation. I'm just like, I can't. No.
Now who's the crazy one? Still you.
Still you.
That is perfect. and Gene, it has the first, other than the episode where he kind of gets strong-armed into having a girlfriend, it's the first episode where Gene has any type of
sexuality.
He's like, my pants feel weird. I have to go now. He falls in love with the puppet manatee.
Yeah, his modeled after Marilyn Monroe.
And it's so weird because the guy playing the puppet is trying to scam him for $100. I'm like, why are you doing this for $100? What the hell?
You need to find better interest in your life.
I don't know. It was weird. I was like, I get trying to scam a little kid. He thought the kid was rich. He thought Gene was rich because Linda at the time was given a VIP card for the cruise ship.
Yeah.
So he thought they were rich, and So he scams them for $100? Like, what?
You are
Aim higher, man. Aim higher.
No. It's like, if you think I'm a gold digger, you must be doing it wrong.
Yep.
You're digging in the wrong ditch, honey.
Oh, and that's also the episode where Louise gets those crazy ass long nails.
Yes.
Louise is like, fuck your gender norms, give me Wolverine claws.
On her feet and hands.
And then she uses them to climb a wall. She literally thought she'd have superpowers.
It was great.
I love that the nail artist gets really excited and cancels all her appointments too. Like, Louise totally plays her. She's like, look, I know you're bored of this job and I don't want to do this, so let's do something interesting. And then it works.
I like when Tina wants to go to the spa because there's a hot guy working there.
Yeah.
And they will not let her because she's too young.
They won't let her. So he compromises and gives her a scalp massage, and she's like,
she goes,
she's like, I'm 2 hours older. Can I get a neck massage now? And this is what I mean about the show. It has a healthy budding female sexuality, but they don't make it creepy because the adults in her life respect
it. You don't fuck little girls.
Like, the episode...
I was literally just about to say that the thing that I loved most about that episode was that he shut her down.
It was like, no, this is inappropriate.
He didn't hint. He didn't try to treat her because she's a client. He was like, no. Absolutely not. You're too young. I am not allowed to do that. I can go to jail.
Another episode...
I was like, that is the correct response.
Like, another episode where they do that is when she becomes the ball boy or whatever for the baseball team, and she keeps like slapping the butts of the entire baseball team.
And they pay her no attention.
They're just, if the attention they do pay her, it's like, oh god,
please don't
do this. And I mean, I'm willing to give her a little bit of a pass for like
for being a child,
for crossing some boundaries because she is still a child, but. The adults in no way try to like encourage that behavior with her, and they don't try to
just hear it happening and kind of nod.
Yeah. They don't try to shame her for it, but they also aren't trying to like actually get sex from her or anything.
Is it possible to be in love with 20 people at once?
Yes.
How do we not talk about Tina trying to start a triad?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I never saw that one. I ain't heard nothing about this.
Oh man, so okay.
Jimmy Pesto's son?
Yeah.
Oh my god, of course it was.
I forget his name.
JJ or something. Jimmy Jr.
Jimmy Jr. Yeah. And then the guy that she meets at
she's
the
had a crush
aisle.
on Jimmy Jr. for like most of the show.
They've dated some. They like
kind of, sort of.
They did a weird slow dancing
thing, and they kissed.
And they kissed
her. Yeah.
And then
they ignored her at school.
Yeah.
Dressed her.
And then in like the second or third season, she meets this boy who goes to the arts magnet school and is a dancer. And Tina loves to dance, so it works.
It's funny because Jimmy Jr.
So
is also a dancer.
I need this because I haven't seen this.
You need to see it. And in the end, she's like, they're like, we both love you so much. Neither of us can win this dance off. And she's like, why can't I just be with both of you?
And then
poly problems.
And then even then, like, it doesn't work out because then neither of them want to be with her. But nobody shames her about it. Like,
they're not like, you're a slut.
The guy from the art school is like, when you go back to being a one-man woman, just give me a call. Like, that's the worst thing that happens to her with him. But Jimmy Jr.'s a jerk, so I don't care what he does.
Yeah, he's always hanging out with that other jerk. What's his name?
I don't know, that misogynist.
Yeah.
See, you don't learn it until you're a little bit older if you date men, but you really have to draw the line with the douchebag friend.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I can't remember that kid's name.
Yeah, with those kind of people, they are those kind of people. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's never been proven wrong in my experience.
Jimmy starts actually kind of like
being
acting like
him and shit. So, yeah. That is one of the best episodes though, with the triad.
And her family sees it too, and they don't care either.
They're like, okay, Tina.
All right.
Do what you gotta do. Okay.
And isn't that... Oh, yeah, and Louise says, sorry, you couldn't make Josh and Jimmy your sister wives.
Louise. Smartass than every young girl.
She is... That's why I encourage my niece to be more like Louise.
We need more smartasses in the world.
We do. We need more smartasses.
We need more women doing things that are not being submissive and nice.
We need more non-male smartasses.
It's true.
I am done, D-O-N-E done, with douche bros and their douche bro careers. Richard Dawkins, done. Christopher Hitchens, done. Every white male atheist ever, done.
We talked about Richard Dawkins earlier. I don't know
why. That's gross. Ew.
I think there
Richard Dawkins, I hope you listen to this one day. You fucking suck. You fucking suck. I have a friend with a freaking PhD in biology, and he says some of your science shit ain't even straight. So you fucking up, Richard Dawkins. Dorkins. Dick Dorkins.
This is why C is here. She is our Justified Anger correspondent.
Yep.
Can that be my title?
Yeah,
that is your title.
Justified Anger correspondent. I feel
she's willing to say the things that Dory and I can't say or won't say.
Yep. You just haven't tapped into your inner rage beast
But we
yet.
agree. Which is why Dawkins wasn't the boss earlier.
First bottle at the riot.
That's why we intentionally didn't make Dawkins the boss. We made Ophelia Benson the boss. Hashtag Missandry.
Hashtag Missandry 5 hour.
Alright, I don't know how much more do we have to talk about Bob's Burgers, because I wanted to do That's So Interesting.
Okay. We can just go back to Bob's Burgers later.
Okay.
We make the rules.
We can do That's So Interesting, and then we have, oh god, we forgot our shitty sexist song.
Oh, I'm gonna need a shower.
I can pull one up last minute.
Oh, no.
We got this.
Nope.
We're going where Shethinkers have never gone before.
I got my keys. I'm leaving.
This may kill us.
It might.
But let's talk about what is. So,
I got some others from that same artist. If you ever need some more,
what is so Pinteresting, Dirty Nerdy?
Okay, I found this awesome YouTube video about a do-it-yourself Louise hat, and it's really cool. So if you have some fabric and a sewing machine and wire and tacky glue, you can make a Louise hat. And I sent it to my sister too, because she's gonna have my niece dress up as Louise for Halloween.
That is badass.
And she has a sewing machine.
So there you go.
So she could dress up as Louise in her Halloween costume.
We're still getting into the swing of things, and so we're kind of cheating, and we're just gonna link you to a video on how to make the Louise hat. So on our show,
when we make the blog link.
Yeah, when we make the show notes blog link, we will have the YouTube video in there. But it's really cool. And
did it look easy?
Yeah,
relatively.
I barely know my way around a sewing machine, but I've sewn felt dolls.
That's what it's made out of.
It's made out of felt.
Oh yeah, then it shouldn't be
wire. It's not super hard. It's
the wire is going to be the biggest.
And even that was easy enough.
Yeah, the type of wire she used was
it was a coat hanger.
Coat hanger.
Yeah.
I had to do coat hanger shit in my class in junior high.
It looked easy to me, and the only thing I've ever sewn is my Poison Ivy costume a few years ago. I sewed leaves on everything.
Nice.
That was amazing. I loved my Poison Ivy costume. So yeah, That's So Pinteresting. And we will have the link up when we do the blog.
Make the link.
Yeah, when we do it. Don't judge us.
When it's ready. Do it live!
That's what we were saying earlier when the sound cut out.
Yep.
Alright, so do we want to do Shitty Sexist Song?
It's time for the Shitty Sexist Song.
Oh, I've been avoiding this.
As painful as this is going to be.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
I'm done with the first line. I'm fucking done.
Okay, guys, let's...
I'm literally writing my suicide note right now. I'm fucking done with this plan.
Hashtag suicide isn't funny.
Hashtag it's not. Hashtag it's that bad.
Okay, this is... We're gonna do a Nickelback song.
Puke, gag, I have to take a shower now. Oh god, Nickelback. It's almost as bad as Buck Cherry.
We are shaving off all
I don't
the
think
hair
anything's as bad as Nickelback, is it?
Have you heard Buck Cherry?
Yeah. I have, and that was the first song I ever feminist rage quit in my life. I was in high school, I heard that song once, and I just went, you know what? Something about this pisses me the fuck off. I don't know what, but I'm angry.
So, confessions, that's in my running list because it makes me so angry that I run faster.
Angry sexist music is the best music to run angry to.
What's weird is that Buck Cherry can be in your angry running list so that it makes you angry and run faster, but Nickelback can't because all it does is make you puke.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
Yeah, no, Nickelback would literally make me think about how I shouldn't even exercise because I'm just...
I should just die.
All of
right
humanity is gonna disappear one day, and just Nickelback is just a dark place. Just don't go there.
The black hole of humanity. All right, this is Nickelback.
And the lead singer married Avril Lavigne, didn't he?
I don't know.
Ew.
The next song, the next shitty sexist song we should do is one of the most recent releases by Chad Kroeger's wife, Avril Lavigne.
No.
Have you seen that video?
No, I haven't. Okay, all right. Let's just get this over with.
All right.
Some of it repeats itself, so we can just do half of it.
This is Nickelback. Figured You Out.
We just need the Tina moan throughout the whole show. What do you?
I need to see her lyric sheet so I can pause.
Pause it. Ew. Oh, still say please.
Looking up at me, establishing okay, is
dirt on her knees?
It sounds like he's talking about a really young girl already, and I'm just like, you're gross.
Well, to me, it sounds like she's sexually pleasing him. And
she's sucking his dick.
Yeah,
That's
and
what's going on.
He seems to find the sexual pleasure in the degradation of what she's doing, the dirt on her knee. I'm like,
refers to her as a disease. Like, ew. Why would you refer to a person as a disease
Chad
like that?
You're the disease.
In music. Kroger is a disease.
And life.
Why is it that this shit comes up all the time when men are talking about getting blowjobs, and it never fucking comes up when women are receiving oral? Like, I've never heard women describe this shit before. Only dudes do. What the fuck?
That reminds me, there's a great song by Christina Aguilera called Woohoo, and it's about eating pussy.
Yeah.
We should have that.
We need to have
It's not secret.
She's also got a song called I Hate Boys, and she literally says the line, we would all be happy, we would all be glad all the time if we shipped them all off. I was like, Christina Aguilera, I love you.
See what Chad Kroeger does? We hate Nickelback so much that we can't even focus on this song.
We have to talk about somebody better.
Okay, alright, we can play more of it, I guess.
Stanza.
Trigger warning. Okay, pause it. Alright, I love the way you can't say no. Too many long lines in a row. I love the powder on your nose. She's too fucked up and high on, I guess, cocaine.
I was like, does that mean she's sniffing coke, or is that some weird makeup?
I don't know what that means.
I assume he's trying to be edgy
lines and powder and being so fucked up she can't say no. It's coke.
Yeah.
She's so fucking high on coke that she can't give consent, and
so
he's down
really
for
cool
that.
Song about how Chad Kroeger raped some girl.
Yeah.
He loves to know that he can rape her.
Good to know. Love the way you can't say no because you're so fucked up on drugs that you don't even know where you fucking are. Don't do cocaine.
Ugh.
Like, I am not a Nancy Reagan, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna do drugs, there are safer and better drugs. Do not do cocaine.
And whatever
you do, 80s. You are not Tom Cruise. Grow up.
And clearly, whatever you do, don't even be in the same room as Nickelback.
Or any man that you do not absolutely trust not to take sexual advantage of you and rape you, which really is probably none ever.
None of them. At this point in my life.
Yeah, pretty much like all of you go away.
Cute.
Oh god, it just keeps going.
Okay, alright. A girl he can rape, apparently. That's who she is. Alright.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can I
get more wine. This is making me alcoholic.
Fill up my glass.
More wine for everybody. Okay.
Thank you, dirty nerdy.
I'm gonna need to get into this for a minute. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what I don't like, and this kind of ties into the last time we talked about virginity. Men seem to think that their fucking dicks
are fucking magic
wands, and that by sticking your dick a woman's vagina, you can, like, intimately know her in any way other than that you were able to rape her after you plied her with fucking drugs. Which, since we're talking about a rich rock star who can afford to buy mountains of cocaine, that's probably what's fucking going on. Probably some impressionable 17-year-old with the back
he just said that's what's going on.
Like,
He just said, I love how easy it is to rape you when you're high on coke.
And now I know who you are. And you know what he means by that. You're a whore.
Yeah.
You're a whore, and you deserve to be treated like a whore, which means sexually assaulted and degraded. That's the image. And this is... If y'all have not realized yet, I am big into fighting the anti-sex work crowd. Like, do not come for me.
Really? I had no idea.
Right?
You're so subtle about it.
I'm just fucking subtle. But, like...
Subtlest person I know.
When you start to look at all of the avenues in society where violence against sex workers is a joke, or is hilarious, or is encouraged, or is thought of as justice, then you...
I hope you're happy, Nickelback. You made us use all our wine.
First of all, you'll never be able to watch Family Guy again, which you shouldn't fucking be watching Family Guy anyway because it's terrible.
That's what we talked about.
Family Guy this whole time.
You're gonna barf, like...
We should have a whole episode on how terrible Family Guy is.
Oh my fucking god! No, actually, can we have a whole episode about how fucking awful Seth MacFarlane is? Those could literally be separate episodes, and I could just talk for the whole fucking time. Like,
all right.
If I ever met him, I would literally spit in his face, and that's. Better not ever let me get near him because I would literally.
I'm gonna take the headphone out of your boobs.
Put it back in your ear.
Put it back in my ear.
You should have looked harder.
Did you want me to look harder?
Oh my god, there's still fucking more, isn't there?
Yes.
There's a little bit more, yes.
Is there anything more to say about how he thinks his dick is magic and that he's figured out women all together?
I'm sure we're gonna keep going with this.
They do the chorus again.
BRB crying.
Ew, talking about her body. Gross.
Yeah.
Ew. Again, he's magic and he's best. Ugh. Talking about gym.
You are so fucking. She is not your gym sock that you jerk off into. You disgusting excuse for a fucking human being.
Why does he like the way that she clearly is expressing that he really sucks at sex?
Because there is a reason. There is a reason. Because he likes the idea of her as the typical whore. Like, she's had so much cock that she's just, like, got a dress with jizz all over it, and that she just fucking sucks cock all day, and his cock can't even fucking be anything to her because she just so much... Like, I cannot tell you the whorephobia... Love you, James Cates. Like,
we love you, James Cates.
We really do.
Internet famous now.
Internet famous.
Yes, okay. This song is like an assault. Any song that's a fucking celebration of rape and sexual dominance over women is just barfing.
Yeah.
Alright, let's keep going. Unfortunately. Sorry. What does that even mean? Nope.
It gets worse.
I'm done.
It gets worse.
Okay. What the fuck?
He is literally saying that he is sexually turned on and that he loves abusing her and choking her while she's already unconscious, which obviously means that there's rape going on. And I love your lack of self-respect. This ties into the whorephobia. This ties into the whorephobia that I was talking about. The anti-sex work, the women that are whores.
If you have lots of sex, you obviously don't respect yourself.
If you have sex with celebrities for attention or for money or for whatever reason, I think you should be able to fuck for whatever reason you fucking want to fuck. Like, I don't care. Like, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
So
how can you listen to this and think anything else than he's a fucking rapist?
So we've gone beyond the I like getting you high on coke and then fucking you when you're not able to give consent. Now he's talking about choking her and fucking her when she's passed out. Now it's not even ambiguous. Not that there's such a thing as ambiguous rape, but now it's even less ambiguous.
Let's take this line by line. And I love the way you pass the check. So he likes feeling like a man by paying for everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And I love the good times that you wreck. What does that even mean? What the fuck does that mean? That she's
He's
just like
calling
such
her
a
a
dumb
homewrecker
whore?
because she's a whore.
She's just a dumb whore that she just like comes up and causes dumb whore drama in his life. And I love your lack of self-respect. Go home. Go home.
You heard it first here on Shethinkers. Jack Kroger should go home.
I have spoken to so many women who are sex workers who are exotic dancers. I usually say strippers because that's what they call themselves. Exotic dancers, whether it's full-service sex workers, because do not use the P slur, because do not fucking say that word. It's used to dehumanize sex workers who are murdered by men and when nobody cares. But that is a thing that they encounter. Every man that they come across who pays them for sexual whatever seems to think that they're just like this self-respectless, daddy issues, broken little... There are like... I don't know if I've ever told you this, because I had a good friend that worked at a strip club, and there would literally be religious guys who would come in and give girls money to talk to them and like try to save them. Like try to save them from the devil and whoever, and they would just assume there was a man like turning them out and making them work or some shit. Like men are just, they're so gross. Like just the whole whorephobia, just, all those people are gross.
All right,
I just can't believe that he's...
Passed out on the deck, my hands around your neck.
He just freely admits that he rapes this girl.
He freely admits that he rapes her while she's unconscious and he's choking her. There is no imagery from this that is not horrifying. How can any guy listen to this and think it's anything except creepy? At least.
Because rape culture.
Because rape culture.
Because it's okay to say this shit.
Oh wait, here comes
the
shitty chorus.
We're only halfway through this fucking shit.
Oh god.
The only new verse is this one. I can just read it so that we can stop listening
it should go to it in like a minute.
I don't know.
Can we just do the Tina moan over the chorus?
Fucking chords that are in literally every single Nickelback song.
Oh yeah, Nickelback ain't shit.
Like I'm literally tone deaf and I don't know shit about music. I've taken one music appreciation class, but every motherfucking Nickelback song is the same Nickelback song. And you wanna know what else is awful?
Same with Creed. Every single Creed song is the same song.
Listen, as horrorphobic as Creed's, not Creed, as horrorphobic as Nickelback's music is, Nickelback music is the perfect strip club music. No, you can. I have had girls tell me you can dance to any fucking Nickelback song, even Photograph, and you can, and it works because men are the customers at strip clubs and men are gross.
Man, he can't even fucking sing. Like, Photograph is the worst, and they used to play that shit all the time. I was like, it sounds like he's vomiting on the microphone. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, I can't.
You just shit on Nickelback. I'm so drinky. I'm just listening to you. I'm just like,
this chorus that changed up some lines. Let's see. Why not before you never tried? What does that mean? Gone for good and this is it?
I don't think I
She finally ran away from her abusive rapist? Are you upset?
I don't think he knows what he's saying, honestly. That's why he's able to admit to raping a girl without even realizing he's admitting.
Yeah, there are no new lines. You've heard them all.
All right, you've heard it all. Okay.
We will
except for this one. And I hate the places that we go, and I hate the people that you know, and I hate the way you can't say no. Too many long lines in a row. I hate the powder on your nose.
So now
he takes everything he loves about her in the first
fucked her and
chorus.
he hates her.
No, don't you understand? A man's dick is magic, and it turns you from a beautiful woman, into a sex hole that is, basically the equivalent of the gym sock that you jerk off into.
A semen repository.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I am not. Oh, what are those things called? What are those dick sleeves?
Fleshlights?
Fleshlight. I am not a fleshlight. And I will.
I think I'm done with Nickelback. We don't need to play anymore.
We're always done with Nickelback.
Everybody knows it's horrible. We don't need it anymore.
Except for middle-aged white men who go to strip clubs.
They don't count.
They are not people.
They don't count as people.
They are. They're just awful people.
I know. I hate othering gross people like that.
We should have a whole episode where I talk about all the things that, because, as I'm sure everybody needs to understand if they don't already, because normally for someone to talk about something that they, a place they work or whatever, we invite people onto the show to talk about their experiences. But there are a lot of social repercussions for admitting that you are a willing participant in sex work. if you're a woman, and if you're a man largely, but mostly if you're a woman. So I am literally never going to ask anybody to out their voice or their name or anything like that, because I can do it for them. I can out myself as not a sex worker and then just raise up their voices without commentary of my own, because that's literally the only thing I should do. That's how being an ally works. Oh my god!
OMG.
Hashtag it requires little effort on your part. You literally only lift up their voices and shut the fuck up. Those are the 2 requirements.
That's why we have those poetry readings all the time by women of color.
Holy shit.
Alright, so, okay.
You've got 3 showers in here, right? Because I'm pretty sure we all need showers after.
2 showers. I don't know if it's okay for y'all to use my sister's shower, though. And the other one is small, so...
Well, we'll figure something out. Gotta wash this Nickelback off of me.
Nasty.
Alright, did we have anything to add about...
Nickelback rapist.
Do we have anything to add about Bob's Burgers?
Let's see. It's freaking fantastic.
If you haven't watched Bob's Burgers, because it's still only 4 seasons in.
Yeah, it's 4 seasons in.
It's a relatively new show.
Netflix. It's all on Netflix.
Well, the first 3 seasons.
That's a lot, though. I haven't even finished the first season.
You
can skip around and watch them out of order, but it's also fun to watch them in order.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Bob's Burgers yet, you totally should. And you probably shouldn't have listened to this episode. So.
the only episode
Spoiler alert.
The only episode
the
I've seen that I didn't like was the Capybara episode.
Capybara?
I saw it 5 times and I was like, oh, that guy is such a douchebag.
I love that episode.
I do too. And hey, Tina still sticks with her family even.
She does.
Yep.
She's like, go, Dad, go.
Yep.
Even if you poop your pants. Again.
I forgot he pooped his pants.
What?
Don't say anything to your father. He's very delicate right now.
He has to
So you pooped your pants.
He has to take his poop at 5:45 p.m.
Hold on, wait.
So you pooped your pants. It's no big deal.
Do Linda's voice again.
So you pooped your pants.
So you pooped your pants.
Okay.
No big deal. You shouldn't be upset about it.
Okay, my mom's family is all from Brooklyn, and I can do Brooklyn accents pretty easily. So
I'm always afraid to do a Brooklyn accent because I don't want to sound racist or anything.
Unless
it's
that's where all the people
white Brooklyner.
That's where all the people who raised me came from. So
well, yeah.
I can't do it.
So you pooped your pants.
That's kind of like a C with a linguistics degree will tell you. That's kind of like how, I try to take pride in my southern accent or whatever. But there's a lot of Southern English that literally linguistics calls Southern English that is also African American vernacular English. So there are things I say when I think I'm being country that to some people sound like I'm imitating a black woman.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which I do not. That's racist, and you cannot put. And
I've gotten that before.
You cannot put on
this is just Southern. I'm just Texan. This is how I talk.
There are 3 things. There are 3 things that people use their black voice to do when they're acting loud, when they're being outrageous, or when they're being angry or violent, or when they're imitating somebody sexually harassing women. There's a lot of videos that act like they're feminist empowering videos of women turning sexual harassment around on men and being in a car. But the things they yell are always things like, "Yo girl, can I get your number?" And it's please do not associate predatory sexuality and predatory male behavior with black men, because that
I'm sure it happens, but I'm sure it's also not the majority.
Yeah, no, it has happened to me, but I also have been harassed by huge numbers of white men. And I would say any day of the week, white men are worse, because there are black men that will not catcall with me because I am white, and if I make a big deal out of it,
they could get in trouble.
Something bad could happen to them.
Here's the